everybody, it's Dr. Freeman from Neuro Instincts, giving you information about psychology, personality, and the brain. Today I want to talk to you about a phenomenon that's called affective resonance. And before I give you the definition, I want to tell you why I think this is such an important concept to understand. There's two reasons. One reason is because I think it can be a really unique way of detecting red flags of somebody who might be on the pathological narcissism spectrum. And then two, because affective resonance is at the core of the problems that people who have this disorder display. They have significant problems with affective resonance, and I want to share with you the reasons why in this video. And so what affective resonance is basically our brains communicating with each other. It is having the shared experience between brains, brain to brain. And it does this automatically, and it does it without thinking. And in fact, it's not even the cognitive areas, it's the emotional areas, the limbic system. So let's say, for example, you and I are having coffee and we're talking. We're communicating, of course, on two levels. We're communicating on a thinking level because you're listening to what I'm saying, you're processing it, I am processing what you're saying. We're going, back and forth with this communication. But our brains at the same time is getting a feel for the other person. So your brain's getting a feel what my limbic system is like. It's getting a feel of the health of it, the genuineness of it, the depth of it. Everything about my limbic system you're getting on automatic pilot from your own limbic system. So in a way, you're feeling me. So there should be no surprise that this is a big issue in relationships with a pathological narcissist. You're not going to get this kind of shared emotional ride between the two of you, that you're both in sync and that you both are connected and riding together. They don't have that level of communication. They have a very superficial level. They don't have the more in-depth level. And so what does that mean then? Okay, they don't have the more in-depth level, so what's the problem? Well, affective resonance would include being able to feel empathy, feel for you, feel sad for you, hurt when you hurt. They don't have the capacity for compassion, for caring. It may not even register on their radar that you're sad, and if it does, they don't care. And affective resonance makes all of this possible, that we actually are having a shared emotional experience between two people, and we're in sync because our emotional systems, our deepest areas of our brains are communicating with each other. So you might think, all right, so then how does this help me as far as a red flag? Because when I'm in the relationship, I'm in it, I'm already in there, I'm already bonded, I already know that this person doesn't have empathy. So how does this help me before I even get in too deep? And this is where people who have high empathy can use that beautiful, special ability to their advantage. Because if they just settle down a little bit when they're interacting with somebody new and let their empathy kind of take the forefront and get a feel for the person that they're with, they will be able to get some signs that the person they are with is not deep and is not genuine. And so I know the next question is going to be, you're going to say, well, in the beginning of our relationship, she was really into me. She was so addictive and intoxicating to be around, and she wanted to see me all the time, and she wanted to talk to me all the time, and she was very attentive and interested. You may say he was great, he was supportive, he was kind, he seemed so giving. But there's a difference between a reward center reaction and a deeper reaction that comes from an entirely different system, like a bonding system reaction. They can do reward system reactions all day long. As a matter of fact, probably better than you. They can do romance, they can do the excitement, and they really do feel that. So it's not like that part is fake. You feel their excitement because they really are excited about you. That part is not fake. But what they can't do is take it to the more genuine level. So when you're with these new people on these new dates, whatever, You may want to ask yourself, am I feeling more of an excited kind of feel that somebody would feel if they got, let's say, a brand new car given to them? Or am I feeling that this person is really deeply, genuinely connecting with me? And it really is, in the beginning, a really fine line. It's so subtle, it's so difficult to detect because they're so often so excited that it can really cloud the whole interaction, and you can really think, well, no, that felt genuine, it felt deep, it felt very, very, very connected. But you also have to keep in mind, if you are a person of high empathy, some of your own connection is going to be getting in there too. So you will be feeling your depth as well. And it can get entangled with their superficial connection. And you, if you're a deep person, the two of you blended together may make you think that, oh, this is a deep person. So this is why, it's always recommended in the beginning of a relationship to really kind of take it slow and be reflective. Even be reflective while you're with the person so you can really feel them, because we have this ability in our brain to do that for ourselves. Some people have it better than others, and some people don't have it at all. For example, people who have pathological narcissism, or they have a very sort of broken version of it, they can cognitively feel you, and I say that probably incorrectly. They can cognitively detect your status, but deeply feel you is another experience entirely. They're not riding that emotion right along with you, but they can detect it in you. And this is another reason why people, especially those with psychopathy, they have to study emotions of other people. They have to study what it looks like to be sympathetic. They have to study what it looks like to be empathic and what it looks like to be nurturing and kind, because they don't know what that feels like. So some of them will study empathy in other people and see, okay, so they look like they slow down their speech. And so you'll see a psychopath trying to imitate empathy. When they do so, they may decide, well, I should speak quieter and I should speak slower because that shows I'm very concerned. When in fact, that's a very, very fake, there's a very fake act, it's a very fake process for them. It's all cognitive, it's all frontal, not limbic. Limbic, you don't have to study anybody's facial expressions. You feel sad about a situation that is sad and you actually feel it. You don't have to conjure up the facial expression, the change in your speech. You don't have to remember a thing. You just are. You just be. And so when you're trying to have a relationship with somebody who is on the pathological narcissism spectrum, and you have the capacity to shift between all these different emotions, reward system, bonding system, all these different shifts you can do very easily, because the brain can do those modes beautifully. They can't do that. And so some of them will get very, very frustrated, very, very angry when you point out to them, why don't you comfort me when I'm sad? Why don't you understand what I'm going through? And rather than compassion from them, you get agitation, annoyance, anger, blame shifting. Why do you always bother me with this? You get those kinds of reactions rather than a genuine connected reaction. And a couple of areas of the brain that are involved with this whole process would be the amygdala and the insula, just to name two. There's more than that, but two of them are the insula and amygdala. And so the amygdala is a part of our emotion processing system, which then would make sense that they have trouble with this act. And the other part is the insula, and that allows us to perceive pain in others and our own pain. And can we make that better for them? No. We can't change the functioning of their insula. We cannot change the sensitivity of their amygdala. We cannot change that by being loving to them, by being kind to them, nurturing, understanding, tolerant, setting limits, setting boundaries, saying no. We can't change those areas of the brain for them. Science is trying to figure out some ways that we can try to make those areas better, Science is even looking at some ways that we can try to impact the functioning of their amygdala, but we're just not there yet, you know, and hopefully we will be, and hopefully these people will be amenable and open to accepting treatment. But then we have the next obstacle that I'm sure you're very well aware of, and is that people on the pathological narcissism spectrum often think there's nothing wrong with them. And in fact, not just that there's nothing wrong, that they are better than everybody else, and they're more superior, they're smarter, they're better looking, they're more strategic, they're more instinctive. They feel they have all those traits above you. I hope this information was helpful, and I recommend that you go to Neuro Instincts, where I have tons of articles over there, and I just invite you to peruse them. And if you want to go even further, then I invite you to take my course. Alrighty, I'll leave some links below here. Alright, take care. Bye.